Hi folks, so this is the second part to the gentle exercises to help support your back. Variations on one of the exercises I showed you last time, as well as three other things that you can do to help, very gentle things. So the first thing I want you to do is get your yoga mat, obviously, or your mat of some kind, and get yourself quite a thick book or a yoga block. I'm going to use a book, so I'm going to use this lovely Artist and Writer's Handbook. I'm going to step back so you can see me, pop it in the middle of the mat, and I'm going to stand on it with one foot, and then I'm just going to allow the other foot to just be free, hanging to the side, and then you just relax that leg completely. So you push away with the heel, so allowing the foot to just gently come down. So keep yourself standing up quite straight, shoulders, you can roll them to relax them down. You've got this leg that's on the book, has a slight bend in the knee and is quite solid, so it's engaged. Okay, so up into this hip is engaged, and this hip you're just allowing it to relax and allowing that foot to just sink and all the muscles to lengthen. Okay, so you can do that for up to, let's say, 10 breaths. 10 breaths. So a cycle of breath is one breath in, and out is one cycle. So 10 of those. And then you do it on the other side. So you step over and place your foot at the edge, and then just allow the other hip. So again, remember that the leg that's on the book or the block, softness in the knee, you have engagement up into the hip, and the leg that is just falling away, you're just allowing that to relax down. You're keeping your shoulders up and back and your chest open, so you have nice and lovely kind of centered standing posture. And again, 10 breaths on this side. So you're pushing away with the heel slightly, so you're allowing the heel to push down to the floor more than the toe, so don't let the foot dangle on the floor. Okay, there we go. So then you come down from here and move the book out of the way, feet hip width apart, open out your toes, and then I want you to just wiggle from side to side into the hips, so get your bum really moving, okay, and wiggling all the way up through your body. And do that 2 or 3 times just to shake off any tension. That's great. That's my cat disappearing out of the room. He's not liking the wiggle. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come down. So I'll turn myself away from you to show you this. So coming down, this is the exercise from the other video, the second exercise. So if you plant one leg on the floor, flatter the foot on the floor, it's hip width apart right here, so both the legs hip width apart. You take this second leg, place the ankle on top of the knee. You place this hand on the inner side in front of the knee, and you push away and you hold. So you just hold the leg in that position. The back is on the floor. And again, 10 breaths here. One round is a breath in and a breath out. So this is really good. So if you have got some pain going on into the hip, okay, so you don't want to be moving it around too much, and you can adjust how much you push away. So if you want to push away just a little, it's absolutely fine. If you want to push away more, but I'd ask you to really listen to what your body's wanting and needing, rather than trying to push into any pain that's going on. So releasing that off, then take the knee and bring that into your torso, and then release that leg down, and then picking the other leg up on the other side, placing the ankle over the knee, and again push away with this knee. And again, 10 breaths here, making sure that the spine, the low back is onto the floor, the sacrum's onto the floor, so you're not causing any twisting in this area. So relaxing everything down. And when you've done the 10, you bring those down, then you have both the flats of the feet on the floor, so lovely shoulder bridge variations. So I like to bring my hands onto my belly here, and what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your buttocks and lift the buttocks slightly off the floor, and on an out breath you're going to push the buttocks down into the floor
and arch that low back. You know, I talked about there being a little curve under the low back in on the exercises the last time. So if you can slide your hand underneath it, so hand underneath that low back. See if you got that curve when you're down that way, and then push the low back into the floor, squeeze the buttocks and lift them off the floor. It's just a tiny hip tilt back and forward, and again 10 times. So taking right down onto the sacrum and that lovely curve in the low back, and then pushing the low back into the floor, squeeze the buttocks and slightly lift the buttocks. Just a tiny bit you're lifting, you're tilting more than lifting. So it's, you've got that rocking motion going on with the pelvis, and you can do this in a count with your breaths. You can take a breath in once you've got the curve in your back and you're on that sacral area, and then an out breath as you push the back into the floor, squeeze the buttocks, slightly lift, tilt, and again in breath, and then the out breath. So you're doing about between 10 and 20 of those, okay? And the final exercise I want you to do is to turn over onto your side. So you're drawing both of your knees together, and you're making sure that the knees are level on top of each other, making sure that the ankles are on top of the ankles and the feet on top of the feet, and you've got your legs in this 90-degree angle from the torso and the body. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep the feet together and just draw the knee up and down, and you can help support this with your hand, just drawing it up and down. So I'd start off with 2 or 3 of this and building up to maybe 10 on one side and then 10 on the other side. So start off just with 3 and then build up. And then when you're done with that, you can take a very loose fist, banging that very loose fist into your hip, into the ball and socket joint, just to soften off that area, and then turn it over onto the other side. So once again, you're leveling up those knees, making sure you can get the book as well, just to check that the knees are nice and level, getting them into a lovely 90-degree position, keeping the ankles together, and then lifting the knee, one knee, the upper knee away from the lower knee. So lifting the upper knee away from the lower knee and down again, and just doing between 3 and 10. You can have a pillow under your head to keep yourself really comfy here. And when you've done, loose fist banging into the side of this hip, into the ball and socket joint, and round into the glutes, into the buttock muscles. Okay, that's great. And then bring yourself up, and there we have it. So just a few more things you can do if you've got low back issues and you're wanting to just get some circulation going into there, and perhaps some relief as well. Some of these exercises really do work. I really love using them myself, so just wanting to share.